Today, we are making it rain, or maybe just a light drizzle. I'm not really sure. Today, we're talking about what it is that we do for a living. This is the Five Squad. Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you for tuning in to, what is this, episode 4? Episode 4 of the Five Squad. This is our lovely podcast that my amazing wife joining me today has decided to come on this journey with me a little bit and at least talk a little bit more, get me to open up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And, you know, just relate to the world a little bit more. So thank you, everybody who is tuning in and watching today. Like I said at the beginning, we are going to be talking about what we do for a living and how we make money.
Yep.
It's a hot topic.
Hot topic.
You think so?
Yeah, we got to pay the bills.
Did you go to Hot Topic as a kid?
No.
I did. I had the big pants with the chains on them.
No, I was definitely basic.
My mom hated that.
Still am basic.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the big pants either. I'm with your mom.
So I'll let you start. Let's talk about a little bit. You kind of have two ways that you make money.
Yeah.
And
actually, kind of three.
It does not involve what you guys might be thinking.
It's kind of three.
Oh, three.
My full-time...
Maybe it is involving what you guys are thinking. I don't know.
Stop. Okay, so I'm my full-time job is I'm a teacher and online learning specialist at the school in our local town. I'll just leave it at that. And then I also have a side hustle, as many people do and many teachers do. I have a jewelry business.
What's the name of that business?
Callie and Me Jewelry. I'm an independent distributor, I guess you could say, for Plunder Design. And so part of my business I've done for 2 years, and that's just custom jewelry, very affordable, trendy.
What's like the price range?
I mean, I'd say majority of our stuff is under $30. So everything I'm wearing, except for like my wedding ring, is Plunder and Callie and Me. And then the last year, a little over a year, I guess. Oh no, I started in February. The permanent jewelry side of my business, which is very trendy right now. All of our chains are 18 karat gold plated or silver, and
I actually have one on.
yeah, me too. I have 4 of them.
This is actually, you did this like right when we
Right,
started, right?
yeah.
So this is like a year in.
So
Still
it's just
great.
a really trendy way to always have a little bit of jewelry on. It's much like a tattoo in the sense of it's going to be permanent.
Right.
It's just welded on.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit more of the, higher end price point of my jewelry business, but that's why I say 3. So teacher, costume jewelry, permanent jewelry.
Do you find that, because I know I've helped you do like these little parties or whatever with the permanent jewelry stuff.
Yeah.
Do you find that those are easier to get people more involved with doing permanent jewelry, or like, I mean, do you have a lot of like one-offs, like just call you and they're like, hey, I want to do a bracelet real quick. Can I come by?
So, I mean, I have that option just because I don't mind if anybody just shows up at the house and I do them. And there are a few one-offs, but it's a lot more fun to get your girlfriends together. You know what I mean?
Make an event out of it.
Make an event out of it where there's drinks, there's food. I mean, a lot of times there'll be like another small, MLM kind of vendor of some like tanning or whatever. So you can pair them together, you know. It's just a lot more of a reason for women to get together just because nowadays everybody's busy, right? So you have a reason more happening that way than just one-offs, because most people aren't just going to one-off want to come over, I mean, unless they like need it for an event or something.
Right.
So those are my 3 sources of income.
For the permanent jewelry, it's mostly adults, or do you see like young, like daughters of these people doing it? So
we did do a mom and me where I saw as young as 2 years old getting a bracelet. It's a new trend. So people are doing it for their babies. I mean, it's safe enough. It's just a little welded zap. But the costume side of the business is actually pretty booming for me too, just because I'm a teacher. It's affordable, it's fun, and I mean, who doesn't want to look
variety.
cute? Yeah. So anytime I wear something at work,
When does that one come out? Or
when does this?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like my own little billboard, if that makes sense.
And the jewelry business, I don't know that you mentioned, how long?
So I've been doing it I'm going into my 3rd year with it.
Okay.
The permanent jewelry side, it was a year in February.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I definitely want to do it more full time though.
Yeah.
It's difficult to pursue all three.
of course.
Like that's
Of course.
probably the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
Just time wise, you know, I only have so much time after work to be able to pursue the other stuff. And, you know, everything has to be planned, the content, the everything.
Right.
And just not always the easiest. That's definitely something I'm willing to talk about sometime soon.
Well, I guess what is my turn?
Yeah, I think so.
So I am the owner and operator of Vandrews Media. We are in our core essence a video production company. And we do a lot of, we don't do anything like you're watching us do now. I have actually lovely partners in this game that have the affordability to not make me do it at home. Because if I was doing this, if we were doing this at home,
It would not be this-
I mean, I'd
this
break,
amazing.
I'd have to put up the scene every week and just no. So, Vandrews Media has been, I think I'm in year 3 of business as well.
Yep.
But I'd been doing video for about 10-ish years, a little over 10 years.
I think more than that.
Well,
You were doing
I
it
mean,
when we first met.
well, I graduated college in 2012.
Yeah.
I went to college for graphic design. Part of my schooling had a video like
Right.
editing and stuff like that. And I knew it was something that I liked to do. But it wasn't until, you know, I was working at Vans where I realized like, cause this is when Vine was popular.
Right.
And I knew that like video and all of this was going to be a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I needed to figure out how to kind of get my feet wet with
Like,
doing
where were
it.
you going to
So-
fit in the realm of
so
video?
I saved up a little bit of money. I went and bought my first camera. And I produced dog crap for about 4 or 5 years.
I don't think it was dog crap. I mean, definitely nothing like
you
you're
didn't
doing now.
you didn't see pre I Am Houston. You didn't see any of that. And that was my dog crap era.
Okay. All right.
So
Fair.
but I was learning, right?
Right.
And then in about 2018, I got hired on to work as a part of a documentary series here in Houston.
One of my
And
favorite things that for you.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. It forced me to teach myself more.
Yep. It really took you out of your comfort zone in like so many aspects, not
Right.
even just video, but
Right.
like communication.
Oh yeah, talking to
Just
people and all kinds of things. Yeah,
showing
for
up
sure.
for yourself differently, for sure.
For sure. But then, after that wrapped and, I still tried to do a little bit for myself and all of that. But when times are tough, you got to get a job and
Yep.
got back into, working again and, ended up working with my dad again and all of that. But then
After I'm Houston?
I mean, no, I worked at a sign place for a
Oh,
little
yeah.
while
Okay,
and
yeah.
then I went back
Right.
to my dad because the sign place was just not where I wanted to
Right.
be. But then it was 2021 or end of 2021 when Corona was happening, I ended up getting
Oh, yeah.
COVID.
Yep.
And I couldn't go back until I got a negative test. And
And you
it
couldn't-
was like 6 weeks in and it was like,
You just
yeah,
kept
I'm
getting-
not
you
coming
kept
back.
getting- Yeah,
Like
you just kept
I
getting
gotta
the
make
positive.
money. So I'm not coming back. And then
But that was like such a relief to you, I think. I think you were so ready to be done there.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
But you were like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? And
Yeah.
I think that's when.
well, I mean, if you remember, I did about 6 months or so, just working with a couple of people,
Yeah.
and making enough money to pay the bills
Right.
and do all of that. It wasn't anything like I'm doing now.
yeah.
But then, as we get, inundated with ads and all that kind of stuff, I saw the video business program that I joined and got, into that. And that taught me a lot on how to really grow and
Yeah.
scale a business. And, I'm in the part now where I'm trying to start scaling a little bit more, bringing on more help with, filming
Yep.
and editing and doing all of that to where I kind of take myself out of some of that.
I think that's what I hear most about from you is like, I have so much on my plate.
Yeah, like I literally have I have no time almost to do anything anymore. It's crazy. But
I mean, that's a good thing though. It means your business is
Yeah,
pretty successful, right?
Yeah, it just, I don't know how much more in my hair I can rip out, but or go gray like she says I'm going gray.
But I like it. You're gonna be the cutest old man ever, like for real.
But yeah, I mean, over at Vandrews Media, we specialize in mostly, I'd say, social media content.
Yeah.
The biggest, what we mostly like to do is brand films.
Yeah, that's what I was
customer
gonna say.
testimonials.
Yep.
And then short form content for social media. That's kind of the biggest things that we do. I do other kind of things as well. I'll entertain anybody's video project idea, whatever they have going on. I know that I have a client coming up where we're doing a series of videos that they're going to end up showing to their clients when they kind of onboard them.
But it's different though, like now than it was when you were just doing freelance, right? Like, what do you think that transition was like for you?
Oh, I mean, it's one, understanding, the different like bracket of like money that I'm working in.
I was just gonna say
I value what I do a lot more now.
Definitely.
And then I'm also able to tell people, why that is so valuable. I used to be just that guy that would do $200 or $300 or $500 videos,
right?
And kill myself and still make something that was good,
right? Yeah,
but you can only do that for so long before it becomes like, okay, I got to figure something else out, and I ended up having to figure something else out. So,
and I think you're doing a good job figuring it out.
For sure, I am trying.
Here we are.
So
with
yeah,
a new
here we are.
Part of your
realm. I needed to make more content.
A different style
out
of
there,
content.
so people could get to know who I was, and wanted you to be here with me to enjoy that. And hopefully on the next several episodes that we're doing, we're going to bring in some guests here, and we're going to be able to, get some other opinions and different people from the industry. And
I think different business owners,
I mean, for me over at Vandrews Media, we work with a lot of different business types. All of our outbound marketing though this year we are really trying to work with more insurance agents or agency owners out there. Just because, I think most insurance agencies, they do things a certain way. And I think that what I do could be another component on how they kind of do their marketing.
And get their business, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, that's pretty much it as far as what we do over at Vandrews Media. But I'm happy to be in year 3 and, look into I've made it past the first year, and that's when most businesses fail.
True.
So,
And I think I've seen so much growth from you, which is actually kind of why I wanted to be a part of this whole podcast thing. I think the video aspect of everything scares me, and I know that my business needs content. I'm just not sure how to do it yet. So I'm going to learn from you along this whole journey.
Your business is going to rely heavily on your personality.
True.
But
it's still a video marketing.
This is the first step.
Yeah, totally.
To you getting in front of the camera. And I know that's been your biggest issue. So I'm glad that you're here doing it.
And I'm glad you invited me.
Well, you're going to be here every week unless you're sick. So don't get sick on me.
No.
Okay.
Hope not.
Knock on wood. But would you believe that is already the end of this episode?
I'm starting to believe it. I think I can feel it now.
You think we can go longer eventually?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do that until everybody out there in the world actually wants to listen
to
us.
And they're ready to hear.
For 30 minutes at a time.
Agreed.
But, but thank you guys for tuning in to episode 4 here and learning a little bit more about what it is that we do for a living over here.
I think next week we're going to be talking more about why the podcast started and what we see more of the podcast being.
Yep. So if you want to hear more about what our transition recipe looks like going into the future, then make sure you stay tuned for that one. So we appreciate everybody that tuned in and either watched or listened, and we hope that you come back next week. So
see you then.
Peace out.